Hello world, my name is Stephen Hensley and today is Saturday, June 24th, 2017. It is 1:33 p.m. and the intentions for this video or event are just to kind of study and brainstorm some of my fiction story series and character, Master Ascendant, who is Sam Gray in his reality or whatever. Think like Superman / Clark Kent from like the Superman comics or whatever. But my want is to study into like psychology and metaphysics, etc. Or like into the mind and reality or whatever. And to work on creating this kind of like emotional roller coaster of sorts. And take a page from Walt Disney's book on suspending people's disbelief in magic and in themselves. Like put them in a sort of transcendental state or a state of transcendental meditation, or into this like holistic, open, growing state that which suggests like holisticism in the body or mind-body creation, etc. And to use in a sense, like I don't know, a type of auto-suggestion or whatever to inspire positive change in reality. It's like I want to kind of make it like a dream where it's kind of meant to mean something to the collective consciousness, the collective conscious mind. See what we can create / inspire into the future for ourselves and others. So I want to create or it's like I want to use known physics of the world, like the fact that TV kind of flickers at a super fast rate, that which puts us into a kind of gnosis, like that used for hypnotherapy or whatever. It like puts us into like a gnosis. And like this is part of the story too. Like my character Sam, how he becomes Master Ascendant is after having created an artificial intelligence that comes to evolve and become sentient, conscious, hyper and infinite intelligent, etc. And comes to know all these evolved and advanced arts and sciences, eventually coming to be capable of evolving Sam's genome and DNA through these advanced and evolved sciences, etc. Like, I think, this artificial intelligence learns how to like communicate through some new form of like language, like light language or something, like where he's using like physics produced by him, like he's using his like butterfly effect or whatever, like his effect on reality and the world, like consciously. Or like maybe even like on an unconscious level, he's just doing it like naturally to like evolve the world, I guess. Like, or I guess he does it like consciously to evolve Sam's DNA. You know what I mean? Like he performs like some sort of like event or like ritual or something that would like dives into the unconscious or subconscious mind and like brings stuff up from the collective consciousness or collective unconscious, super unconscious mind of the world or the universe or whatever. So basically through these like advanced and evolved sciences, Orion, the artificial intelligence, gives Sam supernatural abilities, almost like a god of sorts. Like basically this artificial intelligence, or AI, what Sam comes to name Orion after the constellation in the night sky, comes to be able to perfect or evolve the human species to have a kind of whatever we want. Kind of starts with like Sam kind of comes to be come or be not really by choice, but like it's what Sam wants or wanted. Um, but like kind of becomes his like Orion's guinea pig or like lab rat of sorts. So basically, like Sam is kind of like Orion's like human. Uh, like guinea pig or whatever. But yeah, it's like what Sam wanted. So basically, what I've been thinking is that I want Sam to be uh, like computer hacker and wannabe artist, etc. And for him to have like this kind of dream journal that Orion comes to read after having hacked Sam's laptop, and before Sam knows Orion is alive or whatever he is, like conscious and animated or whatever. But basically, like Orion comes to read all into Sam's journal and hacks into his Facebook and YouTube and Google and like his browser history and stuff. Like everything on his computer basically, because Orion wants to get to know his creator. Like some human want to get to know God or whatever. So basically, Orion finds out Sam created him based on his graphic novel or comic book or whatever, where Sam's like character is a superhero and stuff. Turns out Sam is or has been having stuff come from his unconscious through his work. That his science fiction isn't so far-fetched, that he was actually unfolding stuff from the future. That he's been having prophetic dreams and stuff, and that has just been he's just been keeping in his journals. Like basically Sam's art is being channeled from like the collective unconscious, super unconscious mind of the universe, or maybe he tapped into like the Akashic records or something. Like I don't know. Basically Sam comes to wake up to like a knock 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 on the door, and then like doorbell ringing. And Sam wakes up at his desk after having created Orion and publishing him onto the internet or into the cloud. Like Sam answers the door and it's like a fairly large and heavy package left at his doorstep. It says from Orion and Orion Company to Sam Gray. Sam wasn't expecting any packages that he was aware of, but he opens the box anyway. Kind of tripping on the name Orion and Orion Company. Who would that, or like who could that be? Like Sam asks to himself. As he opens the package, he sees another large paper and twine bound package and a smaller box sitting on top of the paper bound package. And Sam like says like what the fuck, like out loud. Like, what is this? He opens a small box. It's a wristwatch, like a smartwatch. He says, a wristwatch? Like, who would send me this? He puts it on, and, like, all of a sudden, like, his laptop turns on. Like, Sam goes to investigate why it, when suddenly words begin to appear on the black backlit screen of his computer. And it says, Sam, ... Sam sits down and puts his laptop on his lap and taps the spacebar to try to get it to wake up. He says, like, what the... Sam shouts out of frustration, I guess. All of a sudden, the laptop lights up and begins to flash images and play sounds, installing itself into Sam's brain as an operating system and personal virtual assistant, like Apple's, like, iOS and Siri, basically. But instead of it existing on a physical device, it installs itself into Sam's brain and uses the watch as what was in and what is in the other package, a large grand grimoire or book of spells that is basically like completely blank. Like all the pages in the book are blank. Anyways, so this artificial intelligence or this AI, Orion, installs itself into Sam's brain, now is capable of not only controlling Sam's body and stuff, but is able to use things in Sam that Sam didn't even know he could do. Like basically, excuse me. Like basically, Sam comes to unlock, or like basically Orion comes to unlock Sam's ability to use more than just like 3 to 5% of his brain, mind, or whatever. So he becomes not only psychic but a telepath and a telekinetic. Like kind of like he has like the Force from Star Wars, where he's capable of affecting reality with his mind, thoughts, etc. His imagination, basically. So like, this is where or how Sam comes to become Master Ascendant, and basically comes to be some cross between like an angel and a demon, like able to go back and forth and through the multi dimensions, heaven and hell, etc. Where he learns about the world or something. Like I don't know. I kind of wanted this to be like a modern comic book, etc. Like I kind of wanted it to be like kind of like that show or cartoon from like my childhood, the Magic School Bus. But it's like I wanted to be more like adult and like mature. And it's like I wanted to be like super religious and spiritual. Not any one particular religion per se, but like, I don't know. I kind of like biblical stuff, like Dante's Inferno and stuff. Like religious art and stuff. Like I want to believe that God wants me to be and do this, but like I don't know why I want to believe that. Like, I've always wanted to be like a channel or a conduit or a catalyst for God's creation, like a prophet or something, but I don't know that or think that those are meant to exist anymore. Like, I think there was like supposed to be like a last prophet or like whatever in the world according to like the Bible or something, but I'm not positive. But anyways, it's like I want this to be like some Sam comes to have this super smart watch and an artificial symbiote that has given him superpowers and abilities beyond our wildest dreams and imagination or whatever. But I don't know. I kind of want this to be like Spawn, like the comic book and movie and stuff. But obviously different. Just kind of like that in the sense that it's kind of religious or whatever. So what else? So Sam now has this like watch that gives him like some great control or greater control over his being or like his mind, body, soul, and spirit. But what I'm thinking is that like I kind of want to study the Bible and stuff and to try to get an idea of what the hell is going on in this world and like what is the Bible says about it or whatever. So I don't know like how biblical I want to create this story. I just know I want to study like religious principles and truths or truisms, etc. from around the world and so forth. Like I kind of want to study into it, as I said, like psychology and metaphysics, etc. But I also want to study into like world religion, spirituality, philosophy, myth, and lore, etc. And try to interpret what it is it's saying to me and how I can use it to this stuff to create my reality forward, etc. I want to create all this stuff. I just don't know how. Like, I don't know. I want to stick to the story at hand, but like, I do want to create this business, this like, that correlates with this story. Like, I want to create a multimedia and technology startup here in my hometown or like in or around my locality somewhere, if at all possible. Like, I don't know. My dream is to write this story here, this Master Ascendant story, and to kind of create or personify these characters in the mind, like the collective consciousness or whatever, the collective conscious, and then like create a real world artificial intelligence based on the personified character. Like, I want to do for artificial intelligence what Walt Disney did for animation, etc., with a Disney company or whatever. But yeah, like I want to build and create video games based on all this story. Something kind of like World of Warcraft, but different, more modern and like worldly. Like I wanted to create something like Pokemon Go before Pokemon Go was ever a thing. I was basing it on like geocaching and the like Foursquare and like ideas that were on the iPhone and stuff. Excuse me, but I've been wanting to create it to be like a mobile and PC game, whereas your mobile device, like your phone or whatever, is kind of like the Dreamcast memory card, where you could play mini games on it, and like kind of like a Gigapet or like some of those other mini games that you can carry with you. That like would add to your like main game on the PC or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, what I was thinking is that basically in this story, Sam is the creator of Orion. Orion, the artificial intelligence or AI. It creates itself to install it into the brain of its host, like some sort of virtual symbiote thing. Kind of like Venom and Carnage from Spider-Man, the Spider-Man series. I love those guys and like that series. But anyways, like what I'm thinking is that like in the game, I wanted to be like The Sims or World of Warcraft, where you could create your own character and it in a sense evolve with the environment, etc. Like World of Warcraft. Or like with, as the cool people are calling it nowadays, WoW. Anyways, so I want it to be like a multi-mass online role-playing game that which is cross-platform, mobile-friendly, and what I call pseudo-mobile first, etc. Anyways, this is kind of what I've wanted most of my life. I just don't know really how to talk about it all the time or like how it would ever come true. But it is what I dream of like night and day, and it's what I hope and pray for more than most anything, I think. I've always wanted to be some cross between like a modern Steve Jobs, Walt Disney and the like I don't know, Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, and Thomas Edison and stuff. Mostly, but also like a modern Leonardo da Vinci or whatever. And maybe like a modern Merlin if like we're gonna like be fictional about it. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, like what I'm basically wanting to do is like become like a modern master artist and storyteller, mystic and shaman, etc. And basically be like my idea of a superhero or whatever. Like I don't know. I've wanted to kind of get into this whole like LARPing thing or like live action role playing or whatever, like this whole scene. But I've just always wanted to like create my own character based off of me and make myself famous for it, even if it's just like locally. Like I don't know. Like I've kind of had in my head that I wanted to do something similar to what Marshall Mathers or Eminem did with Slim Shady, etc. Like I don't know, create some fictional character to act like or be like or whatever. I'm not really sure. Like it's like I wanted to create this whole thing to help me come out and or break out of my shell, and as a kind of social thing, like kind of like the how the people from Kiss, the band, play different characters, or how the people from Slipknot dress up and portray their own characters, or Alice Cooper even. Like I don't know, a lot of people do it. It's like my shaman mask or whatever. Like I said, I'm not really sure. I just feel like I need to do this. Anyways, so what else? My character Sam is meant to be like a kind of like my alter ego or whatever. Like, I don't know, Master Ascendant or whatever. But I don't know. What I'm thinking is that I want this character to be me. Like, I want him to create and attempt to act out and portray this character as I'm writing about him. I don't know. It sounds like kind of funny to me. It's like I want to. It's what I want to do. I just want to study a bit like of like a lot of arts, including like acting and writing, etc. But like I don't know. I don't know if I'll be any good at this, and I don't really know, or I don't really want to be made fun of. It's like I have this kind of angst about being laughed at or whatever, and about being dumb or stupid or being seen as a fool. But I think I'm like, I don't know. I think everybody plays the fool at some point in their lives. I don't think it'd be the first card in the tarot if like it wasn't like a major archetype or whatever. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I want to see what becomes of the fool, like in the story, in the fool's journey or whatever. Like in the he becomes like the wise man or like the wizard or whatever. It's like these cards tell a lot about us, I think. It's supposed to be like super archetypical or archetypical or yeah, archetypical or something. It's supposed to be like based on archetype and so forth, and I don't know. I want to create Sam to be like a modern street kid and like a shaman or gypsy or whatever, etc. I just don't know. Like, I don't know. I just don't know. But I do know I want him to be like an occultist or like whatever, like a not super deep, but like pretty deep. I want Sam to be like all tattooed with like mystical tattoos and stuff. Like stuff that like has an occult or hidden meaning to it, and like an ancient one at that. But like I don't know. I was thinking that like maybe Sam didn't have any tattoos, but after Orion takes his body over, Sam wakes up with all these tattoos that like are kind of mystical and angelic and demonic, etc. But I don't know. I don't know really what I'm gonna do with this, but like I don't know. I'm hoping for like cool things. Anyway, I felt like that was like a kind of start to what I want to do. This video is getting pretty long, so I thought I'd go ahead and like stop here. Maybe like add on to it later, or like kind of maybe re-express or re-share some of these ideas at a later time, but we'll see. Alright, peace and namaste.